Awesome. Hi, guys. I'm Sarah with that hashtag show. So looking
Nice to
forward to
meet you.
talking to you. Nice to meet you too. About Love Me. This I thought was such an interesting watch about almost the human experience, figuring out who you are. And I'm sure a lot of other things that I did not catch on my first watch through that I need to go back and like turn on my like Ravenclaw brain, as I like to call it. But I feel like a movie like this would never have worked if you didn't find the right leads. So, would you talk to me a little bit about finding Kristen and Steven and just knowing that they were perfect, that that's exactly who you were looking for and why?
Um, Kristen and Steven are explorative actors. They like to do things that are outside of the box. They like to explore new material and ideas. And, I feel like we didn't choose them, but they chose us, and we're really lucky.
I love that. And you're so right. This is also like while they do so much, this is so different for them. When it came to designing what you wanted, like a buoy and a satellite, where did you come up with that idea?
Well, we live in Topanga, which is above Santa Monica, and there is a little buoy that floats out in the Pacific Ocean, probably about a half a mile offshore. And it just always looks so lonely out there. It has like nobody. And then we wrote this during the pandemic when everybody was feeling, so isolated from one another and so distant from one another, and they just had this like deep, desperate feeling to connect, that it seemed like this little buoy out in the ocean meeting a satellite an impossible distance away was just a perfect metaphor for how we all felt.
Yeah, and over the internet too, because that's how we were all communicating. We couldn't see each other. We couldn't touch each other. So we were using this tool, this imperfect tool, to connect.
Absolutely. I remember just having like lunches in the parks with my friends, and that was the most contact that we ever
Yeah,
had. We're just like on our blankets, having a good time, trying to stay in each other's lives.
I know.
When it came to the storytelling of keeping them robots into the animation, into making them people, talk to me a little bit about the process of choosing to do that, because you could have kept them just as an animated couple.
Mhm.
I love that they become people.
Do you want to do-
Sure.
Go for it.
Well, it's a love story about transformation. So that's what we were obsessed with the entire time. Like the idea that we aren't just one self, but we could take on any self that we want to at any given time, and that's okay. And we can evolve and change and not just be the one thing we find ourselves to be on the internet.
Perfect. I love that. Now, for my last thing for you is what is it that you're hoping people take away from this film after watching it?
I mean, I love movies and art, anything that kind of makes you feel big and small at the same time. So that's, I think, one of the things that I hope we leave the audience with, the feeling of, this how gigantic the time span of the movie is. The whole entire film takes place over the course of 10 billion years, but at its heart, the relationship at the center is fleeting. It's as explosive and spontaneous as first love feels. So that feeling of, big and small, massive and insignificant, I don't know, I like to be wrapped up in that.
I just love it when people feel something about it. Like, I don't care if they feel that they hate it or they love it. If they feel something about it, I'm like, oh my God, that means you're thinking about it and it connected in some way to something that you're thinking. And I am just so honored that anyone would feel anything about anything I would make. It's amazing.
Like, thank you. Hate it, love it, perfect. I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. Everyone, make sure to check out Love Me when it hits theaters. And have a wonderful day. I hope your brains haven't melted too hard.
No, we're good. Nice to meet you. Thank you.